see you here.
Tell him Freddy sent you. How's this for a wet dream? How sweet. Fresh meat. Want some face?
No.
All right, welcome back to Fright Night Flicks. You're here with Dan and Darren, your go-to horror movie podcast.
What's up, guys?
What is up, everybody? Today we are going to be talking A Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Not the Dream Warriors, but the Dream Masters.
Oh, man. Dude, you know, I was telling you, I didn't realize there's not that many more Freddys left. We don't have a whole lot.
I'm going to tell you, I actually have no clue how many more we have.
I want to say like 3, but we'll find out. Stay tuned for next week. I don't know offhand, but I honestly thought there was like 10 of them or something. I don't think that's the case.
It's because we just came off of like Friday the 13th, and there was so many of them.
Dude, I love I gotta say, I love going through these series too. It makes you appreciate them like that much more because you can have an understanding of how the series went.
I feel like 80s horror is just good.
It just doesn't get any better. I mean, It's good and it's bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. We love like bad, good horror movies.
Yeah, it's definitely a mix. You really don't know what you're going to get from one movie to the next.
Honestly, I think the better reviewed horror movie, the worse I probably like it.
The better reviewed?
I don't know. I'm just talking. Go on. Let's keep it moving.
The better reviewed horror movie, the worse you like it?
I'm really honestly what I'm saying is like the real artistic ones, the ones that I would say that people think like a really good made movie, not necessarily for me. I just want to have fun.
So The Shining, you say you don't like?
I love The Shining. I said it. I'm
interesting. So what did we learn from Darren?
Nothing.
Yep. All right. So The Dream Master came out in 1988. I'm just throwing that out there. All right. So we're like entrenched in the 80s here.
Right.
Okay.
Well, we're not entrenched. We're almost out. We're near the end of the 80s.
All right. Let's just get into it. As usual, we're going to give our brief, early initial impressions, whatever we call them.
Just initial.
Blast through the movie, go through the entire thing, point out the crazy scenes, and we got some crazy ones in this. Finish with our final impressions, give a rating, and then give the 5 most interesting facts about this movie. But before we do, got to give a special shout out to a new Patreon, Call Me Chocolate. He joined up at the family level, so Call Me Chocolate. Let us know what you want to watch on Patreon. We'll throw it in there for you.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for joining, dude. We love the support.
Yes, and again, shout out to all our other patrons. You guys, without you, we couldn't do it. No, we could, but we just wouldn't enjoy it as much.
It'd be depressing.
All right, now if you want special access to get monthly bonus episodes, early access to episodes, ad-free episodes, Discord access, just join our Patreon. Check it out. Maybe just even take a look. You can join for free and just look at it.
Yeah, and then the next movie we're doing is Ginger Snaps. Shout out Meg. She wanted it.
Shout out to Meg. The Snaps of the Ginger.
It's about werewolves, I guess. I don't know.
And vampires? I don't even know.
Yeah, well, we'll find out.
All right, you don't have the extra cash, but maybe you want to help support the show. Leave a comment, Apple and Spotify. Leave the 5 stars. Huge help to the podcast. And you can be super cool, just like Nerd or Nothing here, who says, Frederick takes more lives.
Dude, already. No, 2 reasons I love this. 5 stars. Thank you. Second, I like that he calls him Frederick.
I do too.
Very classy.
So he says, the second Nightmare on Elm Street was mostly okay. I do mostly agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
It took me years to warm up to it because it's always my least favorite. Maybe minus the dancing while unpacking, and let's just take that shower scene out altogether. Deeper example, the towel, LOL.
By the way, he's talking about the scene where Freddy had the PE teacher naked, tied up in a lewd way,
and then whipped him with the towel. It got weird. Yeah. Getting someone that looks like Meryl Streep is weird, but whatever. That's Meryl Streep. That's funny. All in all, I can appreciate all entries in the franchise. As for you guys, stellar as usual. One day I'm gonna make fan art of you guys. Oh, I already have an idea in my head once I get time to actually create it.
Bro, hit us up because we could use like a different cover to our podcast.
You already wanted to change our podcast cover?
Well, I would like images of us like in a cartoon version.
Cartoonist.
Well, because even like on thumbnails or even on things I use, it'd be fun to have and like do little scenes with. Anyways, yeah, I would love to see it. Thanks. And thanks for the review. That was a great review.
Great review, 5-star review from us to you.
Yeah, we like to review your guys'. Could you imagine if we just roast someone? That way, we don't appreciate that review. You get a 1 star.
All right, let's get into the movie. So, the synopsis. Freddy Krueger returns once again to terrorize the dreams of the remaining Dream Warriors. As you remember in part 3, we have some Dream Warriors, so we're going to see some of them, as well as those of a young woman who may be able to defeat him for good. This is directed by Rennie Harlan, writers Wes Craven. That's really the one I'm going to mention. And let's move on to the Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, it stars Robert England. England as Freddy and some other people.
Yeah, you gotta love him. I mean, is he in every movie? He's got to be the only Freddy, right? Yeah, he can't be switching that up. All right, Rotten Tomatoes. Critics gave it a 55. Okay, audience 43. Tipped over popcorn.
Yeah, and I understand these ratings perfectly, wholeheartedly, and let's get into our initial impressions. So, what did you think about this movie? What was your initial impressions going into it? Because we just came off of Dream Warriors, arguably our favorite so far.
Dream Warriors, yeah, I did enjoy that movie a lot.
That's why I said it.
Arguably, yeah, I'd say that's an accurate statement. Thank you. Yeah, so I had no idea what this movie would be about, and I gotta say, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the journey I went on through it. It was a little bit like kind of crazy. Like the writing definitely seemed rushed, and we'll talk about that at the very end of this. But I was surprised to see the Dream Warriors return. I guess I shouldn't have been, but
because this is Dream Master, right?
This is Dream Master. It's pretty interesting the way they went with it. I'll say that. Like, well, I don't want to get into the whole thing, but it's
initial impressions are hard because I want to go through like the review of it, which we could maybe eventually just like should we give the reviews in the beginning and drop the score and then go through the movie, or save it for the end?
You got to save it for the end.
All right. Well, are you done, or do you have more to say?
And not without giving away stuff. I thought there was some pretty crazy stuff they did as far as Freddy and like tormenting them. There was, I mean, the pizza scene's kind of nutty. There's a lot of good. I mean, overall I enjoyed it. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I'll say this movie. It's funny with these movies. I swear I have to like really let it marinate and then almost watch them twice, because like this one, I didn't really like it at my first impression watching it through, because the story is not there. There is like no story to this.
Characters pop in and go, they come and go quick. And dude, here's the thing. Freddy is on one in this. Like it's taking people out with a quickness. So the main characters we start with are not the main characters at the end.
No, and it kind of threw me off. And we'll just a little spoiler alert here. I think the last movie kind of didn't matter because they're all dead now. They're going to be all dead soon. You know what I'm saying?
It was shocking that all the Dream Warriors are dead.
It's like that whole thing we went through kind of didn't matter at all. In fact, it didn't. So and then
true.
So like I said, the story wasn't good. I didn't feel like I really got to know the characters. I didn't really care as much. However, though, especially after like thinking about this a lot, I did like this one because the kills in this, there's some memorable ones. And I'll say mainly for me, I remember the waterbed scene. Like that was etched in my brain when I watched this. And I was
bet
like,
you do.
No, not for that reason. You do. Not for that reason. I was like terrified of waterbeds. I don't know about really terrified, but it always kind of like creeped me out after watching this.
I never enjoyed a waterbed. Like it doesn't seem fun to sleep on a waterbed.
Well, I don't think it's good for your back. Like it's like ever changing. I don't know. Actually, I don't know even the firmness of a waterbed.
I mean, it's not that firm at all. You're on water.
Why would that even be a thing? How does that make sense? Like,
and it just seems like, how do you get a water? It seems like very heavy.
Well, it seems like a pain, dude. Do you have to fill the bed with water?
Yeah. Do you bring? I would imagine you. Yeah. How do you get a hose?
Well, and then
in
you have to
room?
have some sort of chemical to keep the water clean, right?
Well, you're not swimming.
I remember I knew a kid who had a waterbed. I don't know. I remember. I feel like anything I say now is going to sound weird, but I did fill the bed. We were hanging out. And I was like, "Oh, okay." It doesn't seem as watery as you'd think. I don't think.
Okay. All right. I don't know. Let's get into the movie. How about that? All right. So we start off with a quote. I do like the Freddy movies. They throw a little quote in the beginning. I'm kind of into it. It like sets the mood. All right. I'm gonna give it to you.
No, keep pumping up the quote.
When deep sleep falleth on men, fear came upon me, and trembling, which made all my bones shake. That's Job 4, verse 12 to 14.
Is that really a Bible verse?
I don't think you can just make those up.
Well, then Nightmare on Elm Street, you could. Yeah, man, that's setting the tone. Little eerie vibes.
Eerie vibes. This movie's really not that scary, but...
Well, it is and it isn't. I mean, these movies, it's hard to get scared in Freddy, to me.
Yeah, dude, we're kind
I
of...
just enjoy it now.
We're kind of numb. We just watch for the enjoyment, yeah.
Well, I'm almost like a fan of Freddy. Like, what is he going to do in this one?
True, true. All right, so we start out with Kristen, okay? You may remember Kristen. We're gonna be reintroducing some characters. Kristen was a dream warrior.
One of the originals.
One of the originals. And Kristen, now, she was the one that can bring people into her dreams.
Yeah, and she was doing the flips, right?
Nancy, I thought, was the flipper.
No, Nancy is the OG. Kristen could do, she could bring people in and she could do the gymnastics.
Was she gymnastics? It makes sense that she was for later in this movie. Okay.
I just edited it. I did a bunch of shorts. She was.
Okay. What did Nancy do?
Just was there. I don't think she had powers, actually. Did she?
I don't remember.
Drop them in the
her
comments
power.
if I'm wrong, but I don't remember Nancy having powers at all.
Okay. All right. Well, we start out with Kristen, and she's having another Freddy nightmare right out the gate. And we got all the usual stuff.
Hello.
Do you live here?
Nobody lives here.
Can we say, though, this is a different Kristen? That was one thing I noticed. It's a different actress.
It was Arquette in the last one. It's not her in this.
Yeah, because I'm like watching. I'm like, wait, is this the same? It took me a minute to like figure that out.
We'll have a couple of the other characters. They are the same actors, so it's kind of weird they didn't cast her here, but...
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it probably cost too much if she was busy. She's probably popular by now. I don't know.
Who knows? Okay, so she's in a Freddy nightmare. Again, like I said, we have all the usual stuff. The creepy kids singing. We got the 1-2 song going on, doing some jump rope, all that. We are back at Nancy's house. So again, that's like our focal point somewhat. And we got the bloody tricycle going down the stairs, all that junk, right?
Yep.
Nancy ends up in the boiler room, which seems to have added more chains. There's like a lot of chains in this boiler room. And she calls for Kincaid. All right, now's where we're like bringing the characters back pretty quick.
Right. Again, she's pulling him into her dream. Kincaid's strongman?
Yeah, he's a strong man.
Kind of got a Mike Tyson lisp thing going, you know?
Yeah.
What's up, Kristen?
So Kincaid's chilling with his dog in his room. She calls for him, teleports him into the dream, and Joey, who was the mute, and his special power was yelling.
Joey! Kincaid! Help me!
So Joey, Kincaid, and Kristen are now in this house together. They're convincing her, like, it's almost as if Kristen is manifesting this house and like revisiting it over and over. And they're telling her, like, he's dead. Stop checking on him. Like, he's dead. He's not here.
Yeah, so that's what's funny is this is like Freddy. It's Nancy's house, right? Isn't that what this is supposed to be?
It's the Nancy dream house that's like the really dilapidated, scary one.
That's what makes me laugh. It's like, so Freddy was killed in the last one, but it was, apparently this house exists somewhere in Dream World, and they just keep coming back to it.
Right.
Yeah, just interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it's because his claws were there. That's where he manifests.
But he can't really be gone because the house is still there. Why is the house there? I don't know.
What, the dream house?
Yeah.
Well, it's a dream. It could be anything.
All right. Well,
How do you
anyways,
get rid
let's
of a
move on.
dream house?
I mean, I just don't think it's a real thing that should always be there.
It's not, though. It's a dream.
All right, let's move on.
Okay, so they're trying to convince her Freddy's dead, but then Kincaid's dog jumps out of the boiler because apparently somehow Kristen manifests or brought the dog into the dream as well. I don't know how dream bringing works.
It seems like it's a radius, and somehow the dog was within that radius and got pulled in.
So the dog jumps out of the boiler and bites Kristen's arm, which makes them all wake up. Now, the crazy thing, I mean, we know how this works in Dream World. Kristen's now has like a bite mark and the dog's covered in blood.
Well, I just thought it was so funny. You're right. One, that the dog was pulled in because I didn't know that there was a radius, but now we know. So, okay, we've all gotten smarter now. And why did the dog turn evil? Like, why did it bite her? Because
I think we're to assume like it went in the boiler and that's not good.
well, like it turned it evil?
Freddy had something to do with it.
It does feel that way. It just doesn't totally make a lot of sense. Whatever. We're getting caught up. We can move on.
Yes, let's move on because Kristen goes to school. All right. And we got this is what I love with 80s movie. It's like all the stereotypes in school. You can see like there's the
nerd,
jocks,
the jock. Yeah.
and everyone's like deep in the stereotype. Like jock's a jock. The nerd is like a super nerd.
I mean, for movies, I love a good stereotype.
Yeah, I'm all in.
Yeah, it's like make it simple. It's like we don't need to know the characters, just give them a stereotype, and then that's how we identify now. I mean, it's true, right? Especially in this movie.
Very true. So Kincaid and Joey end up meeting up with Kristen at school, and they tell her to stop going to the house, basically. They're just like, stop this dream junk. It's like, I'd be pissed too. Like, stop bringing me into this like dream with Freddie.
Well, yeah, we had
the
a
house.
Pretty traumatic incident. A lot of our friends, a lot of our other, sorry, not friends, fellow warriors died in these dreams. Like, Freddie's gone. I don't want to be like revisit this place. It makes sense.
Right. Then Kristen's boyfriend's there as well. We're going to meet him. His name's Rick.
Here comes your boyfriend. Can he give you a good night's sleep?
We don't kiss and tell. How about you guys?
Okay. Now, Rick doesn't seem to like Joey and Kincaid, and I thought there'd be more to it, but there's really not. He just doesn't seem to really like them. They're not like friends, you know?
Yeah, there's no story as to why, but yeah.
But what you need to know about Rick is that he's a karate master.
Dude, is this the montage?
The montage.
Dude. I didn't know if I was supposed to. Okay, that's the thing with this movie. A lot of parts, I didn't know how to read the characters because honestly, I think there's some pretty bad acting, which, hey, I'm all here for. It just is what it is. And this karate scene, I wasn't sure. Are we supposed to be impressed or is this a joke? Because I thought it was pretty funny.
I mean, I think it's supposed to be kind of a joke, right? Like it was not impressive karate. Okay, first of all, karate itself, we're at the point now where once people learn jujitsu, they're like, oh, like karate doesn't really work that well. You know what I mean? It's like a showy sport.
Well, yeah, now there's MMA. People know like how like stand-up fighting really works. And some people can alter a karate style, but definitely like strict karate, it's not as impressive as if it would be like MMA style. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, he's really laying it on thick in the montage.
But you're right. Jiu-jitsu was king for a long time and still kind of is.
I mean, it is.
But yes, the karate is cornball as ever.
Yeah. Anyways, it's a great montage. You should check it out. So anyway, we learn Rick, who's Kristen's boyfriend, has a sister named Alice. First of all, I just want to say their relationship seems really weird. It's almost not brother and sister-ish. It's kind of strange. I don't know.
Alice, you gotta learn to stand up for yourself.
I don't buy like the brother-sister vibe.
No, I don't know. It's hard to say because again, the acting wasn't great. So
yeah,
I don't
Alice,
know.
I think she played almost like mutish at parts.
Well, that's the funny thing. You wouldn't think she's here. Spoiler alert: she's going to be the main character,
right?
And in the beginning, it's like you just thought she was just some side character you weren't going to see again. So
correct. It like seemed very bland. Anyways, so Rick and Alice are brother and sister, and we just need to know about Alice that she daydreams a ton. She's a dreamer. And her dad's a dick. That's what we just learned off the beginning. The dad's a dick through the movie. Doesn't matter. Nothing really happens.
No, he's
just a dick.
Like a drunk.
Their mom died. R.I.P. Don't really know why.
I didn't even remember hearing about the mother.
Yeah,
so.
She's dead. Sorry.
Right.
Sorry to break that to you guys. All right, so let's go to Kincaid. We jump to Kincaid. He wakes up.
Kincaid's a strong man.
Strong man. I said he wakes up, but actually he's in a dream. I guess he went to a dream. But he's in the trunk at the scrapyard. If you remember from the last movie, that's where they buried Freddy. His bones were in the back of the caddy trunk, and then they buried him in the scrapyard. So Kincaid wakes up in there. Now, this is, again, Freddy's burial site, but Kincaid's not alone because his dog is there as well.
And again, the dog plays, like, in fact, probably the most important role in this whole movie.
Yes, and you guys get ready because it's about to get weird. So the dog starts digging Freddy's, like, where his bones are. Okay, stay with me. Pisses fire onto the dirt, which then opens up like a demon portal, revealing Freddy's bones, which starts snapping together. And we got some practical effects where he turns into like a skinwalker. It's like the skin's like regenerating on him. And yeah, Freddy's back.
You shouldn't have buried me. I'm not dead.
So Freddy was resurrected by the dog peeing on the grave of him in the dream?
And not just pee, it fire pissed.
Like, what? So I started thinking, like, did that like, was this just Freddy pretending that that's how he got back, or is that really what got him back?
I don't understand this at all. So like the dog, we had the dog in the boiler room that bit Kristen. Then in this dream, I don't know what the fire piss is. I don't get it. I don't know where that came from.
I don't get it at all.
And it was super weird.
But that is how Freddy comes back to this new nightmare.
Yeah, so Freddy's back, and you guys may be like, okay, maybe it'll tie it together a little bit. Nope, that's just how it happened. That's it.
I mean,
Freddy's
it's an
back.
interesting choice to how to bring him back, sure.
Yeah, so Kincaid now has to battle Freddy a little bit. He pushes a car onto Freddy. We got the maximum overdrive. I'm going to say it again because the cars come alive. They start surrounding Kincaid. And this is where I actually got shocked a little because I thought Kincaid was going to get trapped in the dream. And then, like, Kristen was going to have to come back and save him or something. But no, Freddy just kills him.
Well, yeah, but I like the line here.
Oh, Kincaid says, I'll see you in hell. Freddy says, tell them Freddy sent you.
I'll see you in hell. Tell him Freddy sent you.
Yeah, I love it. Freddy's just ruthless.
Yeah, Freddy's on
You
one.
don't care. Oh, yeah, tell him Freddy sent you. That's a great line.
And then he says 1 down, 2 to go. So Freddy still is on the path to get rid of the Elm Street kids. There's 2 more left. It's Kristen and Joey.
Yeah, and again, I'm just going to have to say this. I don't understand why the parents get the pass. And he's going after the kids because the parents are the ones who killed Freddy. But he's still just going after their children, which, you know, arguably that's pretty brutal, right? Killing their kids and they have to now live with that.
None of them are really kids. I mean, I guess they're in high school, but I mean, they're not really like kids.
No, it's true. Young adults, maybe.
I'm sure we'll go with that.
Anyways.
All right, let's get over to Joey. All right. Now, if you remember from part 3, Joey's a little bit of a horn dog because part 3, he almost got with the nurse, right?
Yeah, he
Here's what I'm
got
gonna say.
tongue-tied.
If you see Joey, you're going to see some tits. Like, that's how it goes.
He's a young man.
So he's chilling on his bed, his water bed. This is where the water bed comes into play. And he's looking at a girl in this bikini poster on his wall. All right. He's really looking hard looking. But then the bed starts to shake and he pulls his sheets back. And in the water bed, no shit, is the girl from the poster. Naked, topless like a mermaid, you know?
I mean, Freddy really pulled one over on this guy. This is a bad one.
So as poor little Joey is like trying to get to this girl.
I mean, because you do anything to get through that bed at this moment to break the barrier.
Be biting the water bed, trying to rip it out. But unfortunately, Freddy jumps out of the bed and delivers another banger.
How's this for a wet dream?
And then he drags him in the water and kills him.
Dude, again, so first of all, shout out Frederick. Great line.
Dude, that may be one of my faves.
Freddy's on fire. I mean, honestly, it's so funny. It's all one-liners, but they're so good. And it just works in context. I love like the humor with the horror. You know, poor, what's his name? Who just died?
That was young Joey.
Poor Joey's gone now. But
The yelling warrior.
But dude, there's something about that waterbed scene when I was younger that just like traumatized me, or just like etched in my brain, core memory, one might say. Yeah, it was good.
All right, I'm with that. All right, let's get back to Rick. Okay, now Rick teaches Alice karate. That just happened. She's not good at karate, but she will be. You wait. So Alice teaches Kristen about the Dream Master. So we go back to this movie jumps all over. Okay, that's the way it is.
It is what it is.
So Alice now teaches Kristen. So Kristen is again the one that can bring people in her dreams. The last Elm Street kid at this point, Dream Warrior.
Yeah.
So Alice teaches her about this Dream Master, all right? And what you need to know about the Dream Master is that it's a rhyme. and what she says is you just have to dream about someplace fun. Just remember, you're in control, and dreams are all Alice has, and she's an expert. So we're just to know Alice is a dream expert. She knows some secret rhyme, and she's trying to teach Kristen. So I thought that it was going to build on that. And it does come back at the end with Alice and the Dream Master, but she really helps Kristen with none of this.
Wait, what's the rhyme?
It plays at the very end.
Oh, okay. I'm like sitting here. I'm like, well, what you said didn't rhyme at all.
Alice does not seem to be a dream master at all until she remembers this rhyme at the very end.
Oh, okay.
It was a weird scene because this is where like, okay, Alice kind of comes off weird and spacey, but you're like, okay, she's a dream master. But that's where the dream master comes in, master of your dreams.
Well, yeah, so what we've seen is they kind of were alluding that she has some power because she daydreams all the time. So then we're going to see a transition of power from Alice or Kristen to Alice, right? Isn't that what happens?
Well, yes, but let's not jump ahead.
I'm just letting them know that's kind of where we're going.
There's lots of power transitions. Okay, so Kristen, Rick, and Alice now. We're with Kristen, Rick, and Alice.
Kristen, Rick, boyfriend, girlfriend.
Alice, can you leave here?
What's wrong?
Kincaid and Joey died last night.
What?
Yeah.
Hey, Rick! Come here.
Yeah.
And Dan.
Alice, future dream master.
And Dan, the jock.
Dan comes out of nowhere.
This guy, okay, Alice has like a crush on this guy. That's all you see him. He's like a jock. He doesn't seem to fit this group at all.
You don't really see how he even got in the group. It's just all of a sudden he's just there.
It's like him and Rick were like friends, but they don't, the stereotypes don't match. Rick is not, even though he plays like a karate, like athletic dude, he doesn't come off like that.
No.
He's quirky and kind of different.
Well, honestly, at one point there was a scene where Rick and what's his name?
Dan,
where they were going to meet up. I thought it was like a drug deal or something.
yeah, dude, it is.
I didn't think they were friends.
They're okay. You're talking about the diner, like,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
he's like, "Hey, Dan wants to talk to you," and it comes off as if there's like some secretive, weird thing going on. It's not like they're friends, but apparently they are because right after that, Dan's just with the group.
Yeah, I think he legit just wanted to talk to him, but the way they did it, it seemed like nefarious or something.
Yeah, I thought Rick might be dealing drugs.
That's why I said it was a drug deal.
Yeah. Okay,
He's
but
got to do steroids for that big karate competition.
that would be a good choice.
I could write this movie.
Yeah. Anyways, they all get in a car, go to Nancy's house. Remember the old house?
Yeah,
Like the
do
actual
I
house.
remember?
I know. You can't
I
stop
can't
talking.
forget it.
So, but they actually go to the real house, okay? And then they leave.
Yeah, that was a weird scene.
They did nothing.
They all just go. You thought there'd be something happening there. I don't know. Honestly don't know what the point of it was.
Exactly. I wanted to cut it, but I'm like, no, I need to talk about this because they went there and just left. There was like nothing. They all split up.
Yep, there you go, guys.
There you go. Dream master. All right, let's go to Kristen. Kristen goes back home, but we got a problem because her mom drugs her.
That was crazy.
Yeah, her mom drugged her because she needs to sleep. So she drugged her with sleeping meds. She confronts her mom about killing Freddy. We know the backstory. We watched part 3. If you didn't, you should watch our review. She tries to call Alice. So Kristen is like in her room, like drugged out.
F you, mom, you killed me.
Yeah.
That really, something to that effect.
Yeah, to that effect. Yeah. So she tries to call Alice, but she falls asleep. And her last words, dream someplace fun, which works because she wakes up at a beach with a little girl named Alice, which was odd because I'm like, is this Alice?
Like herself?
I don't know.
No,
I
the
thought,
other Alice. Yeah, like, is it her young version? I feel like it's symbolic. I don't know why, though.
Or is this Freddy? I think this me. I don't know. The girl seemed. I don't know what she was doing in there.
Who
Be
cares?
honest.
We're at a beach. This is gonna be cool, though.
Yeah, let's just get into it. There's a Freddy shark. Okay,
Awesome.
and it's like his fin, or is that's what it is, right?
Well,
A fin.
what would be so if you imagine a Freddy shark, what would be the fin? It's his glove, right?
Yeah, it's like, but it's kind of like a mutated glove. So it's like the fingers, the claws, but it's like a shark, but it's going through the water.
Dude, it's awesome.
I'm not mad about a Freddy shark.
I'd say let's turn Freddy into more animals.
So he arrives and he jumps out of the water. He's on the beach, confronts Kristen. She tries to run and she ends up sinking in the sand. So we have a little bit of quicksand action.
Yeah. Again, I love it. Freddy just changes everything to fit his needs.
Yeah, and I like this part too because as she's sinking, Freddy puts his foot on her head and pushes her down into the sand.
And you thought that might be it, but no.
No, because she falls through Nancy's house and ends up in Dream Nancy house.
Wait, this is Kristen, right?
Right. Okay. But she's like, when she goes through the house, she's like on the roof. It's like a weird perception thing where she's like upside down in the house and then she has to like walk around the room.
Okay.
I just thought that was kind of weird.
I mean, it's
But,
cool. I honestly forgot that happened. So
Yeah. Anyways, but she ends up, it doesn't really matter. She ends up in the boiler room with Freddy. She calls for Alice, and we get the iconic line from Freddy. Maybe the best, most.
oh my God, my
iconic.
favorite line of all time.
Yeah.
How sweet. Fresh meat.
Dude, I don't know why. Our father used to say it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Dad, can we you making dinner? How sweet, fresh meat.
He did love that line.
Hey, Dad, want to watch TV? How sweet, fresh meat. He said it all the time. Dude, the line's great, though, because it's like someone new came in and Freddy's ready.
Yeah. If you know, so now Kristen is in with Alice, right? Did she actually make it in?
Yeah, I think Alice.
Yes. Okay. Okay, guys.
So Kristen pulled Alice in.
If you thought the dog thing was weird, we're gonna get. No, the dog's weirder than this, but this is weird too.
I don't like to compare weirdness.
Okay, so Freddy. Now we're in the boiler room. We got Kristen, we got Alice, we got Freddy. Freddy throws Kristen into the boiler, which is like filled with like fire water.
Yeah.
Like it's like water on fire, whatever. Now she knows
Oil,
she's gonna
maybe.
die. She knows she's gonna die. So I had to watch this like 4 times to understand what was going on here. She uses her power and she orb strikes Freddy. She sends an orb and hits Freddy, and he kind of takes it. But then he orb strikes Alice. With the orb transfers.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why he orb striked Alice, but it happened. So Kristen orb Freddy orb Alice.
Yeah.
And then she wakes up.
So that was the transition of power.
That was a power transition.
Why did Freddy even get it at all?
I don't know. She should have bypassed Freddy and just hit Alice with it.
All right. I mean, here's also the thing. All right. Well, we're going to get into the powers, but I'm going to be honest. The powers just don't really matter that much. Hers does because it plays into the whole movie. But all the other kids with the powers and the Dream Warriors, none of those powers ever did anything.
No, because they're all dead.
Yeah, it's just pretend. It's like, yeah, you could pretend to be whatever you want, but Freddy controls the dream. He's the Dream Master.
He really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when Alice wakes up, she finds a postcard on her mirror, and it says, "Greetings from hell." And it's Freddy and Alice, or Freddy and Kristen.
Dude, that's great.
I love it. All right. So Alice and Rick.
Well, Kristen's dead.
Well, we're going to get to it because
okay.
now Alice is awake. She sees the postcard. She gets Rick. They run to Kristen's house. And this was actually kind of shocking because Kristen was literally on fire in her bed.
Yeah, I honestly thought that dream at first. I didn't think she was actually going to be dead. I thought maybe that didn't really happen. I don't know why I thought that, but I did. But no, she's burning.
Well,
down.
it was shocking that he killed every one of the Dream Warriors. Like all those people from part 3 are dead.
I guess it's what it is. I didn't expect Kristen to die.
Well, she was like the main character, so you thought.
Yeah, but no.
Plot twist. She's not.
Well, it should have known when they had a different actress. That should have been an indicator. Maybe she's not going to last that long.
Yeah. Yeah. So, side note, I just want to throw this in here because this is going to come into play. Alice has a very nerdy friend. I think her name's Sheila. We're going to call her Sheila. It's close enough. Who has a Soundwave gadget.
And I was putting this little baby together. Ultra high sound waves.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made it a point because she was the nerdy one. She can put these little gadgets together. Whatever happened with that?
You don't remember what happened with that?
No.
That's a huge part of this movie at the very end.
Okay.
We'll get to it.
Okay.
He'll figure it out. So now all you need to know is Alice has gotten powers from Kristen, who died. So now she's going to start like behaving somewhat like her in some ways.
Well, can we just kind of say what's going on?
Well, she got her power.
Well, but like this is a pattern that emerges when someone
I
dies.
guess we can just say it. Yeah.
We don't have to hide it from you. This movie's 30 years old or something. Yeah. What we're going to find out is when people die, Alice now is going to get their powers and personality traits, which is kind of odd. So,
yeah, it's not just power. She kind of becomes a piece of them.
Yeah, and also you're probably wondering, well, what's going to happen now? All the Elm Street kids are gone.
Correct.
Freddy's journey's done. He can just go away. But no, he's not done yet.
We're
going to find out Alice is going to play a pivotal part, which is an interesting choice.
We'll get to it, okay? So we got to go back to the school. So they go to take a test, and Sheila's getting messages from Freddy. Who is Sheila?
Is she the power lifter?
No, Sheila's the nerd.
Oh, okay.
So, okay.
Why did you say Sheila? Was that rhetorical, or did you actually forget?
I forgot for a second. Sheila's the nerd that has the Soundwave gadget, and so they're in the class. It's her, I think, Rick, and it's Alice now. Alice now is the main character. They're in there, and I think at this point that Alice may be realizing that like she's bringing people in and they're dying, so she's kind of killing people. I don't remember.
Okay, can we just tell that part too? What, like that Alice becomes the feeder system for Freddy?
We'll get to it. Okay, so they're in a class, right? So Sheila, the nerdy one, is taking notes. Her pen starts to bleed. There's a message from Freddy on it. Then a robot Freddy arm comes out of the paper and grabs her.
Right.
Very strange arm.
Yeah, like why is he a robot?
Yeah.
I guess because she's like an inventor.
Yeah, maybe I guess that's her fear is robots, but she loves robotics probably.
Yeah, because I was going to say, you have to remember, at each haunt, it's something, he's going to use something you're afraid of to kill you.
Correct.
Typically is how it goes.
Okay, so now at this point, Freddy just turns into the teacher. He's like slicing an apple, doing normal Freddy stuff.
I like that.
Yeah. So Freddy walks up to Sheila and gives her the tongue. Do you remember the tongue flick?
Oh, yeah, the snake.
He does like the little tongue flick, which is just creepy, dude.
I mean, it's gross.
Which is followed by a intense makeout session where he actually sucks her dry.
Wanna suck the face?
No.
You flunk.
Oh, dude, this was nuts. Yeah, that was crazy. It like turned her into a prune.
Yes, he like sucked all her fluids out.
Yeah, and okay, so I forgot. Not forgot. We just failed to mention she had asthma, so that's playing into what he did.
Yes, because here's what you need to know. He pruned her in the dream, which turned into a real life asthma attack, sucking the breath out of her. And you're like, okay, she has an inhaler, she'll be all right. No, she's dead.
I know. I didn't think she was actually dead right there, but no, he did it. And I gotta say, again, a great kill. Like that was gnarly seeing her just like her life force or her just body get sucked out almost.
Yeah, it was like I said, dude, Freddy is there's no leeway here. He's not like leaving people alive. He's taking them out one by one.
Yeah, there's not much playing around. It's like you get in his dream, you're just gonna die.
Yeah, absolutely. So okay, Sheila's dead. Alice does something very important here. She takes the Soundwave device. Guys, there's no like real backstory on this device and how it really works or anything. All you know is that it is a Soundwave device
That that girl worked on.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's a gadget or something.
I know, because even I've forgotten how that plays a role, but even during, I'm like, why do they even talk about this thing? So I don't even know what it does.
Okay, so I need to say this because it's confusing, but Alice now realizes she's bringing people into her dreams. So she realizes she has Kristen's power at this point because Kristen was the one that could bring people in her dreams. The orb was that power. Alice now has orb power where she can bring people into her dreams.
Right. And that's very important for what happens from here on out.
Okay. Now let's jump to the diner. Alice also works at the diner on the side. Just a little side gig.
Just getting some cash.
Sometimes you need that money. You know what I mean?
Ah, no, of course.
Dan, the jock, goes to visit, and we get a little bit of plot here. Kristen was the last of the Elm Street kids. Freddy can't get to the new kids. What this means now is Alice is now human trafficking for Freddy. She's a trafficker.
Yeah, it's true. It's like Alice is at this point, it's been unintentionally bringing people in for Freddy.
Yes, Freddy can't get to these new kids because they're not the Elm Street kids. He can't reach them in their dreams, I guess. He needs a conduit, someone to bring them in. Alice is working for Freddy.
Yeah, but why? How does that even work? Because he can get Alice in the dream. Why? She's not an Elm Street kid. Because she has the power. It doesn't matter. We don't need to go deep into it.
I don't know. I guess because Kristen brought Alice to the dream, so now he can reach Alice.
I don't know. Let's keep it moving.
All right. Alice falls asleep during a dream lecture where there's more talk of a dream master. There's like a random dude giving a lecture on dreams.
Yeah, I was a teacher.
Yeah. So Rick also fell asleep taking a shit.
Oh, yeah. So Rick's her brother. Yes.
Yes. He was in the bathroom taking a dump. He also fell asleep. Now we're with Rick, and he's in that bathroom, and all of a sudden, a bunch of cheerleaders come into the stall.
Yeah.
And they start dancing around him. Seems kind of like a nightmare, but it happened. And Alice is also in there. But then Rick gets transported to an elevator from hell where it's just like dropping down. He can't control it. It arrives. This is going to get weird. At a dojo.
Well, yeah, we get to see. Oh god, this is kind of a funny scene. We get to see Rick's moves here.
Rick battles an invisible Freddy in karate.
Yeah, and calls Freddy out for being a coward because Freddy doesn't want to show himself.
A true warrior needs no eyes.
And I'm gonna just jump to the conclusion. He gets the knives in his stomach.
Well, Freddy's glove turns into a flying spear, right? And hits him.
You know, with Freddy kills, he doesn't really do any like crazy, like, it doesn't seem like, at least like gruesome kills. It's just, he's kind of like just does his job.
Yeah.
It's always usually like knives to stomach.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's effective. Why change it up?
I mean, it works.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you say that. There's been some pretty, I mean, we just went over the last movie where he pulled out the guy's tendons or something and controlled him like a puppet, made him jump off the roof.
Yeah, but that's like that. I don't count that. It's like that's his creative side. I'm saying when he like is up close, it's just like claws stomach.
Well, yeah, I mean you got to use knives for fingers for sure. But I would say he gets very creative.
But it's
especially
not like he like takes the knives and just like whoosh, chops the head off. Usually.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's usually knives. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Alice wakes up and the class windows like blow out. Big explosion in real life. That happened.
Well, yeah, and her brother's dead. Boom.
Yeah, let's just jump to his funeral. So we're at the funeral, and I just said I have a note. Damn, Freddy isn't playing around because so many people have died already.
Again, I told you this movie is straight A to Z. It's just like, is it A to B? I don't know. It just goes down the line. It's like person, kill. Not much story in between.
And they're taking out the main characters too. So you're like, who are we following anymore? Oh, well, you know Alice, but
yeah,
it's all over. So anyways, Alice is at this funeral. Rick gets out of the casket and says it was a joke, then climbs back in. And I guess this is an Alice daydream. And she's now like, I'm not going to be daydreaming anymore. I just thought that scene was weird.
It was weird because I didn't understand. I was like, was that Freddy or was that really Rick?
I think it's trying to build on her being like somewhat of a dream master, but she really doesn't show many skills.
I don't know.
So, okay. So anyways, now who do we have left? We have Alice, Dan, and Debbie. And you may be asking, who the F is Debbie? And, well, I wasn't even going to mention her, so I haven't brought her up yet. Because I didn't think I'd have to, because she seemed like just someone who was around. All you need to know about Debbie is that she works out a lot.
It's like she's a power lifter who doesn't look like she's power lifted ever.
A power lifter who is not strong, doesn't look like super muscular or anything.
No.
But they build it as if she is.
Sure, that's what we're going with. And because that's going to play a role in what happens soon.
Yes. So Alice, Dan, Debbie, that's our new people, all right? Dan's the jock, Debbie's the lifter, Alice is the dreamer. So they decide to go meet up at Debbie's. So they make a plan to make a plan. They decide they're going to go to Debbie's tonight and make the plan.
Sure.
That's the plan.
Yes.
So I think at this point, we're supposed to understand Alice gets her powers from everyone who dies. I already mentioned that. But like the reason I say is because she shows off the sick nunchuck skills. Do you remember the sick nunchucks?
I remember. Alice. Oh, Alice does. Yes, because she got her brother's powers now.
Yes. So now you're seeing everyone who dies. Now she's a ninja.
I mean, that was hilarious because at first she's like trying to doesn't know how to use them. Then all of a sudden it's going like she's some karate master.
Dude,
I mean, it's so corny and stupid.
Oh, they're funny too because they always cut. Like any of the stunts and stuff, they always cut to the behind shot where it's just like a totally different person.
Oh,
I mean,
of course.
you know, it's just funny how that looks. Anyways, whatever. So Alice now can bring people in her dreams. She's also a ninja. And I guess she's kind of a nerd. I don't know about that one.
The funniest thing, like we said, is that she's not only getting their powers, I guess, she becomes kind of like them.
Yeah, she gets like everything.
It's like she's a part, like they're become like a part of her. It's
Like,
really odd.
Even personality wise, she starts to get their traits. Like I think she started smoking because one of them smoked.
Yeah, it's like, what?
Yeah. I don't know.
Sure.
Well, let's go to the movie theater. So Alice goes to see a movie. It was weird how it happened. Whatever, she did. So on the screen, first of all, it's like a black and white movie. It looks like super boring, whatever. But on the screen, Nancy's house comes up on.
Oh, I thought this was
image.
kind of interesting.
Yeah, I kind of did like this. So I just thought it was weird showing the movie theater. So or Nancy's house.
Well, it seemed like a dream, right? I think it kind of was a dream.
Yeah, it's a dream. I mean, it has to be. I don't think this could happen.
I don't think so either.
So Nancy's house comes on the screen, and then it starts sucking things into the screen. So like her popcorn, her drink, everything's getting sucked in. And eventually, Alice gets sucked in.
Yeah, and then she's like in the movie.
Which is actually, this part was actually kind of creepy because she's in the movie theater. She's in the movie screen. Now on the screen, like part of it. And she looks out in the audience, and it's all her dead friends.
Yeah, it was kind of gnarly. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but it was weird.
I did kind of like that.
Yeah.
But then she ends up at her diner where Freddy brings over a pizza for her.
And this isn't an ordinary pizza, we'll say.
This is her friend's meatball pizza.
Again, this is one of those scenes where it just like stuck in my brain.
This was, I mean, it's like, what's the word?
Disturbing?
Extremely disturbing. Yeah, because her friends' heads are like the meatballs.
The usual.
Yeah, just sitting on top of that pizza.
And they're like these little heads that are like talking. And it's weird.
Hi, Alice.
Freddy takes one of his claws, and it's Rick. Rick's a meatball, her brother, sticks his knife finger through it and eats it.
Rick, you little meatball. I love soul food.
Oh, I mean, that was brutal.
I know.
That was good.
And then he asks
Good move,
Alice, well, because, Freddy's, he's eating, right? Alice is just bringing these people in, and he makes it clear here to bring more kids for him.
Yeah, he's telling her, like, you got to get to work. I need more.
Yeah.
Which
and
is
she
that-
will. She'll bring more.
Yeah, you'd think she'd be like, no, I'm not going to do that. No, she does.
So Alice and Dan end up meeting up because, again, they're supposed to go to Debbie's to make the plan. But like throughout this dream, somewhere in there, she realized that Freddy's targeting Debbie. So they need to get to her before Freddy does. All right.
And the interesting part is Debbie's in the middle of a hardcore arm workout.
Well, she's very good at the bench press. Very good. That's what they keep talking about. So they cut to her, and we see she's about to work out. And dude, this girl's got 10 pounds on the bar.
I want you to love me and just touch me. Or put your hands on me.
I mean,
Like,
those
it's
might,
nothing.
yeah, it is very lightweight.
It is like embarrassingly lightweight.
Yeah,
So not impressed.
not at all. That's what we said. It's whatever. I guess we're just trying to believe she's the fitness expert. That's the stereotype she got.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to be jumping in between Debbie working out and then Alice and Dan. So Alice and Dan now, they're trying to get to Debbie's, but they're stuck in a loop and they don't realize it, where they keep going to the truck, driving to Alice's, Alice's. They're driving to Debbie's, but then they end up back at the diner. Then they get back in the truck and do the same thing.
We have to hurry. What's going on? I'm driving. Come on, we have to hurry. What's going on? I'm driving.
You know, I get the weirdest feeling. We've done this before.
I legit thought the copy of the movie I watched was bad.
So did I.
I thought like, oh shoot, they keep looping the part because that's the thing about it. It was confusing watching it that you didn't even know they were in the loop till like the fourth or fifth. Well, they did like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
But I'm like, dude, what is this bad copy of the movie I got? But it was real. They were looping for some reason.
It was real. Okay, so back to Debbie. Freddy wants to help out with the workout session, but Freddy is probably the worst spotter of all time. So she's doing the bench press, but he stands behind her, pushes the bar down till she breaks her arms, drops a banger on her. No pain, no gain.
I don't believe in you.
I believe in you. No pain, no gain.
Dude, it's a solid weightlifting line,
Yeah,
too. But by the way, that part where arm snapped, that was brutal, dude.
Yeah, that was close to the tendon. Like,
Oh, yeah. That was
tendon was better, but this was gross too. But this gets like super weird, okay? Because not only do her arms break, she starts to turn into a cockroach.
Oh, yeah, because we did see she had a fear of bugs in the very beginning.
So she's
and
got.
Freddy's going to use that fear to make a nice little dream for her. Yeah, this gets wild. I
Yeah.
forgot about this.
So her arms are like cockroachy, you know, doing this stuff. Then she gets stuck in a sticky trap, then fully transforms into a cockroach. Then you see Freddy holding a roach motel, which catches the cockroaches, and he smashes it as like goo oozes out.
You can check in, but you can't check out.
I mean, dude, what? Hey, Freddy, A+ work on this one.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, just unnecessary and just kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
But it was great. I don't know why that one never stuck in my memory because that was, I don't know, I actually don't think I've ever watched that part before.
I've never seen this movie.
How weird is that? Like, she's walking around with these cockroach arms. Like, that part was
Super
just
weird.
gnarly looking.
It was just weird. But anyways, she's dead. Alice now has Debbie's powers as well.
Yeah.
So she can
power
lift very lightweight. All right. So Alice and Dan now. These are our last two that are remaining.
Dude, the funniest part is, like, you guys might be wondering, like, what is Dan like? I don't know. He barely talks.
He wears like a varsity Letterman jacket.
Imagine he plays football, but that wasn't even clearly defined.
We don't know what sport he plays or if he's any good.
Dude, okay, wait. I got to say something. How did the dirt bike not come into play?
What dirt bike?
In the back of his truck.
Oh.
Like, he had a dirt bike in the back of his truck, and I'm like, okay, for sure at some point they're going to jump on this thing. No, he just likes the dirt bike, I guess.
Yeah, he did. You're right. Didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
All right, so Alice and Dan are in the truck driving. She sees Freddy jump out on the road and decides she's just going to ram him. And I just have to say this, in all these horror movies, does that ever work?
Ramming a killer?
Yeah.
No, in fact, it never does.
Never
it never
does.
works out good. Usually you wreck your vehicle and then they kill you.
Which is similar to what happens here because they hit him, but it's like they hit a concrete wall. Totally jacks the truck up. And Dan's in a bad place. Like, he's all messed up. So an ambulance comes, picks up Dan. Alice gets in with him. Now, this is weird because they're trying to save, this guy's been in like a traumatic accident. They're trying to do their ambulance stuff, whatever. And she is not letting him do anything because she's afraid they're going to put him, I guess they're going to put him to sleep and he's going to go to dreamland. But it's like, this is a dangerous game to play.
Because he could just die.
He could just die.
Like, in real.
Yeah, so,
and not only that, if he dies, now you're kind of responsible. There could be some legal implications here.
yeah, exactly. So whatever. Dan, they go to the hospital. Alice is still with him, but then they split because Dan has to go to surgery. He gets rushed there. Alice steals her dad's car. Her dad's at the hospital now. Jumps in the car, runs home, pops some pills.
What'd she pop?
I think sleeping pills. I think this is like the Freddy battle.
Oh, she's going to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Because she starts transforming into all her friends.
What do you mean she transforms in all her
She
friends?
starts like wearing their stuff.
Oh, yeah. That's what I like too. It made me laugh. She gets all geared up. But keep in mind, you're in a dream. So what you wear on the outside isn't what comes with you on the inside.
Is that, well, it does though.
I mean, but you don't have to do that on the outside. She could just dream herself like that.
True.
I'm just
True.
saying.
Okay. So Dan meets Freddy in the operating room. So he's in the operating room. They put him to sleep. He meets Freddy. So now Alice decides she's got to get there. She jumps through her mirror and into the operating room. So she transports herself into the dream.
Okay.
How they coordinate these dreams, I'm always like, what if your timing's off and he's not even in the dream?
I don't want to even think about how these dream things work.
Okay. Well, anyway, so now Dan and Alice are together in the dream. They end up in like Freddy's playhouse where they're in like the spinning wheel room deal and then end up like falling out of it. But it's like he's like toying with them, you know?
Okay.
For a spin, lovebirds?
Then they end up in a church. But Dan starts bleeding from his stomach and starts to disappear from the dream.
Yeah, because he's dying in real life.
Actually, he's not, because the doctors actually saved him and he woke up.
Oh, that's what it was.
But they were like, in real life, for a second, they were like, oh, he's hemorrhaging. Like, we have to save him. So they ended up like fixing it and bringing him back.
Yeah, whatever. Dan's out of the dream.
Dan's in real life now. Now it's just Freddy and Alice for the final battle, okay? Let's get into the powers. All right. Starts off with Kristen's gymnastics, flips her way to Freddy, does the flipping,
Right.
Then uses Rick's karate to fight Freddy.
Welcome to Wonderland, Alice.
Okay.
Freddy calls her a bitch,
I've been guarding my gate for a long time, bitch.
which I like the throwback to last,
Well,
the last-
dude, yeah, that's his best lines.
Yeah. Then Alice does something that I just did not see coming. Okay. And you apparently didn't remember. She smashes a wall, just smashes
Well,
into
because she
a
has
wall,
strength, we know now.
which would be Kincaid's powers.
That's right.
Smashes the wall, grabs an electrical cord, takes it, shoves it in. She just happened to be carrying that gadget that her friend, the nerdy friend, had.
Right.
Plugs the electrical cord into the gadget, sending out the sound wave electrical blast into Freddy.
I vaguely remember this happening.
Yes, and it burned a hole straight through his chest.
Oh, I do remember that.
You can see his heart beating.
I don't know how that would work, but okay, we're just gonna roll with it.
We're rolling with that. But Freddy instantly healed. It didn't matter.
Again, this is like the thing with this movie, and I don't even know if I dislike it. I'm just saying, people get these powers. There's these devices. None of it matters. You could have the power, any power you want. You could be Superman and destroy Freddy. He's just gonna come back and kill you. He's gonna let you play around him a little bit because he likes the chase.
Yeah, he does.
I think we all know he likes a little chase, and then he's just gonna finish you.
Yeah. So Alice has to do something here, right? We're in trouble now. That whole plan didn't work. But she remembers one thing, the Master of Dreams rhyme.
And this is the first time we're hearing this rhyme, right?
It was alluded to like once or twice, but it was never really explained.
Okay.
Here's what you need to know about the rhyme. Really just the end.
Evil will see itself.
So what does Alice do? She grabs a piece of broken glass, shows Freddy his reflection, causing the children inside him to start coming to life. And this gets really weird. So the little heads, they're like little heads too. They're not like a full head. They're like little people and they have little baby arms. They start like grabbing at him and they hook him to like this wall and start tearing him apart.
Yeah, they're like pulling him. I mean, this was like kind of cool looking.
It was
gnarly.
Cool. I liked it.
But why? I mean, to me, this is such like an easy out to kill Freddy. His reflection? Why his reflection?
It's a deeper meaning.
You're telling me he's never... Okay, well, here's another question. Why would Freddy have anything in the dream that reflects? Or did he not know that a reflection would kill him?
I mean, I don't know.
There's a lot of questions in here.
I don't have answers to these things.
So Freddy saw his reflection, and then the souls inside him destroyed him.
Correct.
That's it.
Yeah, and they ripped him apart, releasing the souls.
Yeah,
so the souls are a little soul orb that kind of goes around, and they may even said like a little thing like "Thank you."
They did when they're flying by. Thank you, Alice.
Yeah, something like that. And all that's left of Freddy is a pile of clothes. Very disturbing scene. Tiny people, tiny hands, tiny heads.
Kind of a cool way to kill him. Just the mirror. I'm just like, that was the way to get him.
Yeah.
It didn't like build up to that. We just found out like immediately, like, oh, his reflection kills him. Boom. Let's use it. And he's dead. And it was weird.
Yeah. So Alice delivers her final line to Freddy. Rest in hell.
Solid
line. All right. Now we jump to Alice and Dan. They're a couple now. Things are going great. They go to a water fountain. Dan asks Alice to make a wish. She flips a coin into the water. And she sees Freddy's reflection just for a second, and then it disappears.
But of course, that was nothing.
That was nothing. That's the end of the movie.
Boom, we're done. And of course, we know he's going to come back, so I can't wait to see how that works.
Yeah.
He's got no soul. Shouldn't even have power anymore. You know, that's the funny thing with these movies. It's just so interesting. It's like in all the Freddy movies, anytime you're in Dream World with him, you don't really have a chance. Like, I feel like he just lets you do what he wants you to do. Like, no one, I know they kind of fight him, but I still feel like every one of these fights is just him pretending to like let you win the fight.
Yeah, I'll be interested how the whole thing ends up, like the end of the series.
I don't know if it's going to be good though. I wonder how, I don't know how many more Wes Craven's on.
You can't bury him. He comes back to life. That whole thing, the holy water stuff doesn't work.
Well, it does until a dog pees on a grave. Then you're...
Yeah, I need to know the backstory. Whatever. What's your final rating?
Yeah, the story was awful. Again, it's hard to even remember. Even to review it, it's like there's not much story to talk about. It's really just going from kill to kill, like I said. But I did think a lot of the kills were really cool. I like Freddy in this one. Powerful, fun. I'm going to give this one, I enjoyed watching it. I'm going to give it like a 6.5.
Ooh, that's very close to mine.
Because it's not like a great movie. I like the one a lot better, personally.
The third one.
Yeah, but this one, I enjoyed the kills in it. The story was just awful. So
Yeah, I would give it, I was going to go 6.7.
All right.
So, like I said, it's corny. That's 80. I love the 80s horror stuff. I love the stereotypes and all that. The characters were all over the place. Like I said, the
story was all over the place.
The starting people all died. And so then we had like a new main character. And like Dan in this movie was so weird. Like just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It ended up being at the end, which was odd. And there's no build up to really anything about him. It was just seemed very thrown together.
Yeah.
So, but overall, like I said, there was some crazy, creepy stuff. I mean, the meatballs on the pizza, super weird. Waterbed kill was awesome. I mean,
Invisible Freddy fight was kind of neat. The karate montage was great.
Those were interesting. So overall, I mean, it's definitely like worth a watch. Am I dying to see it again? Not really. It was okay.
Yeah, I'm happy I watched it. I probably won't watch it again for a while.
I would say I enjoyed the watch though.
Yeah, no, it was cool.
Yeah.
It was slow at times, but whatever. I don't know.
Was it though? He did not slow down on the killing.
Maybe not slow. Maybe I was just confused. I was just like, what am I watching?
It was a little confusing.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the 5 most interesting facts about Nightmare on Elm Street. Dream Master?
Dream Master.
I almost say Friday the 13th every time with this movie.
Did you? Yeah, I did.
Hopefully I didn't do it already, but it's really hard for me not to say it.
It's all right. I'll put a correction when you do.
All right. First fact. The movie was written in 7 days. Not shocking.
It totally makes sense now.
The 1988 Writers Guild of America strike forced the script to be rushed, and it was written in only 7 days, one of the fastest turnarounds for a major horror sequel. Because of this, many actors had to improvise their lines, and director Rennie Harlin made script changes on set.
Yeah, that totally makes sense because, again, there was no story. So I totally believe it. And actually, you know what? For 7 days, that wasn't terrible.
There were a couple lines, and I didn't even highlight it, but there was a couple things that they said, and I'm like, that made no sense.
Well, I told you, too, the acting was really bad. It probably doesn't help the actors when you don't have really a script.
I mean, yeah, it had to be. Oh dude. All right, second fact. Freddy became a cultural pop icon. This was the movie when Freddy fully embraced his wisecracking comedic personality, making him less of a shadowy boogeyman and more of a horror rock star, with lines like, "Welcome to Wonderland, Alice." I missed that one.
Yeah, whatever.
And "Wanna suck face?" Okay, we did. That's where he made out with the nerdy girl.
Yeah.
Which is funny. Those didn't key. I actually think that last movie he had better lines, but these were good too.
But again, my line that I liked was that we like is "How sweet fresh meat," and that. Do people even know that line, or is that just our family?
It might just be us. But apparently after this, like, he became like marketable. Like, he was in commercials and music videos and stuff.
Oh yeah, he was like Hulk Hogan in the 80s.
Yeah. All right. Third fact: the film had the most special effects in the franchise. Dream Master had more visual effects shot than any previous Elm Street film, including Debbie's cockroach transformation. That was a good one.
It was a gnarly one.
The pizza made of human souls. I did like the tiny heads.
That was great.
Alice's mirror battle with Freddy. She uses her own, we know that. She uses his reflection to destroy him. That I guess that was special effects. That was, I wouldn't say great.
No.
But, hey, this was the 80s, you know. The movie had more FX shots than Star Wars A New Hope.
Dude, that's hilarious. Freddy Krueger's movie did.
That's crazy. All right, number 4, the highest grossing Elm Street film at the time. Dream Master became the highest grossing film Elm Street movie of the 1980s, making over $49 million at the box office. It was the first film in the franchise to break the mainstream blockbuster status, proving Freddy was more popular than ever.
Dude, I had no idea that it was like that popular because we were young at this time. Like, I knew we liked it. I didn't know it was like this iconic movie. Like, I knew it was popular in the horror genre. I just didn't know like it hit mainstream like that.
Really?
I no, I didn't know. I guess maybe I don't know. Hearing that just surprised. I didn't know it was that like it made that much money.
Yeah.
All right, well, we can move on. Just quit leaving me here.
I don't know what else to say about that.
This is just number 5.
Patricia Arquette was recast as Kristen Parker. So Patricia Arquette, who played Kristen in Dream Warriors, was not brought back in the sequel due to pregnancy and scheduling conflicts. She was replaced by Tuesday Night, who also recorded and performed the film's theme song, Nightmare.
Oh, cool.
That's interesting. Many fans still debate which Kristen was better, but Arquette's absence disappointed a lot of viewers.
I mean, doesn't matter who was better. I guess at the time, maybe it did.
Yeah.
Now in this one, I'm like, doesn't matter. She wasn't even in this movie that much.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like, I don't even really remember her in the third one.
I don't know. I feel like, honestly, I didn't feel like Patricia Arquette did a great job. I feel like she was like real quiet in the third one.
Yeah, but that's I don't know. Who cares? Whatever.
Hey, here's the thing. I'm
Kristen
not watching
wasn't-
these for acting performances.
Well,
to be
and
honest.
it's like Kristen got killed off pretty quick anyways. So
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever. Anyways, that was Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Warrior. Thank you guys for listening and watching. Can't wait to do the next one. We'll see. I don't even know what it's about.
Yeah, I don't know the name of it. Dream Warriors 2. I don't know.
All right. Special thanks to all our patrons and everyone else who likes, subscribe, do all that. We appreciate all you guys.
Yeah, if you want to support us, please think about just dropping 5 stars. Spotify, Apple, iTunes, whatever it's called.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
And thank you guys for listening.
Yeah. See you guys later.
Bye.